Hey everyone, Ale here. I use they, he, and she pronouns, and I'm here with the KSAC Expressive Arts Live Nature Edition. I thought we would just get ourselves inspired by going for a little walk, a meditative walk. I'm just walking along here. I don't know if you can see my feet. There's soft moss. It's really lovely. I'm feeling the dew on my feet, and we're just getting inspired. Normally I read something from a poem like that to get us inspired, but today we are just using the nature around us, all this green. And I encourage you to do that in your practice, to get out, get yourself moving, and get inspired by your surroundings. Noticing your breath, taking some deep breaths in. Just using this as your embodied practice, because sometimes we do some dancing when we get started with these expressive arts lives, but today we are moving, just walking in nature. Let's see, maybe I'll see my feet. And I'll show you this lake that I'm near here today, where we will create, just listening to the sounds of the fish and the birds. Just getting inspired here, gathering all this up. Taking some deep breaths in. Maybe get into the water here. There's some tiny little fish and things, lily pads, some damselflies. Thank you. We got a comment here saying, looks beautiful. It is. Oh, I'm gonna flip the camera again so you can see me. I'm gonna get set up using this kayak as a little prop here. So welcome to this Expressive Arts Live Nature Edition. So I just got you here gathered with me, and we're just going to take a couple deep breaths in and out, just taking in our surroundings. Another deep breath in and out, and one more deep breath in and out. So yeah, here we are with the Instagram live. I started here with the guitar as a drum, and I think I'll just continue that as well. So I'm going to use my guitar as a drum just to give us a bit of rhythm, and I thought that I would not use words, but what ended up happening on the Instagram live is that I used words to describe my surroundings, and it felt actually like a meditation. So I encourage you at home to do a similar practice if you'd like. You can see how I do it, or you can just join me as I go. And I'm just using this as a self-reflective practice and opening up my intuition to where my intuition wants me to go in this creative practice. So I'm going to take a deep breath. Start with just humming, just getting myself warmed up to my voice. I'm ready to be spontaneous with you all. Exploring different things that my mouth can do, different sounds, different ways you can be percussive. And here I am among rocks and leaves and greenery. Alright, so there you have it, a bit of a meditative, just noticing what I notice around me. And I thought I would do something with the guitar that I haven't done on these Instagram lives, and that's just focusing on just 2 strings on the guitar and just seeing what comes. So for the my initial practice, I use the first, on Instagram, I use these 2 strings. I'm going to try these strings in the middle, the 4th and 5th strings. Let's see what happens. So there's a little idea, just using these two strings. I had a witness, so I was a little bit nervous there. Yes. So there's something. Try to use my surroundings, just looking at what is around me and listing what I hear, what I see, what I feel, and noticing that, like I said, I had a bit of a witness for a second, and I'm quite shy sometimes, and so it made me a little bit nervous. So you can notice those things within your practice if you go out and create. How does it feel when someone comes around you, or you feel like you are being watched, which I am being watched by at least one person on live right now, but somehow it feels different feeling someone's presence there. Alright, so I'm going to play you a song to end, and I'll just talk about how we kind of got into the creative practice if you're just starting out joining us. So just a little outline. We used walking and nature as inspiration, getting embodied, looking at our senses, feeling our senses, and then we found a nice spot to sit, and we warmed up our voices with some humming. I got out my guitar to play as a drum, and I sang along with it, again kind of noticing my surroundings and using that as inspiration to sing. And then I highlighted or isolated 2 strings to create with, and this is something you could do if you're not a musician. You can try isolating yourself or limiting yourself, like using just 2 colors, maybe just writing for half a page, or using 4-letter words, some kind of restriction to just get you started. It's like an entry point into creating, so that it doesn't feel like, oh, it's just overwhelming and expansive. It kind of gives you some kind of focus. And then how I'm going to end today is playing a song that I have already wrote, but it's just nice to kind of play something that you're familiar with, or do something that you are familiar with if you're using a different kind of medium, and just end on a good note. And it doesn't have to be a long practice. Like this has been about, let's see, say 15 minutes or so. I'm not really sure when we started, but it doesn't have to be a long practice, but it's nice to have like a kind of an arch. So meditation, a limited entry point to get into the creative process, something that's new and intuitive or spontaneous, and then ending on something that you already know and that you feel comfortable with. So I'm going to play you this song. It's called In the Morning. much I can't bear tonight. Don't say it out loud, I can't say it at all, but I'm head over heels for you. Ooh, 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 ooh. All I want is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Before we go on now, what can I say? What can I say? How I dream of you, oh, every night and day. To see you again, oh baby, in the morning. Ooh, 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 ooh. All I want is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I know I do wrong, and I know I'm not too strong, but I die to lift the sky for you. I'm doing the best to show what ebbs and flows, but I keep falling in love with you. Ooh, 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 ooh. All I want is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Before we go on now, what can I say? What can I say? How I dream of you, oh, every night and day. To see you again, oh baby, in the morning. Ooh, 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 ooh. All I want is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. All I want is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Before we go on now, what can I say? What can I say? How I dream of you, oh, every night and day. To see you again, oh baby, in the morning. Ooh, 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 ooh. Alright, there you have it. I'm grateful for this song that I've written, remembering it as a friend that is come into my life and is sharing its lovely song presence with me and with you who are witnessing here. So I want to thank that. I want to thank you for joining me and being a witness here to my practice here today. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or things that you would like to see for this expressive arts practice. I hope that this kind of outline helped you or gave you inspiration for your creative practice and your journey. So thank you again for joining me. I'll be live again at 11 Eastern Standard Time on the KSAC Instagram page, and then again on the Facebook page shortly after that. So it's usually around 11:30, 11:45. I'm on the Facebook KSAC page. So thanks again, and if you want to share your art with us, please do. We'd love to see it, or questions or comments or things that you want to see us do here for the Expressive Arts Live. So thanks again for joining me. You can talk car sliding. Thanks again for joining me. It was lovely to have you, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.